What's up guys, welcome back to another video. I was having a discussion with my cousin and some of his friends recently, and we were talking about the bro code. You know, that sacred set of rules that every guy must follow no matter the circumstance. Anyways, while talking about it I realized something. I could teach a class on this. So if you are a girl or just a guy who is out of the loop, this series is for you. But here's the thing, the bro code is so complicated and there's no way one lecture can do it justice. So, this is actually part 1 in an upcoming series of lectures, and we're burning class time here, so dock your phones and let's get started. But first, just a quick disclaimer that this is a semi-serious podcast that looks way too far into random topics using factual and scientific information for the purpose of both comedy and education. As such, certain points may be over-exaggerated for comedic effect, and I highly recommend people do their own research into the topics discussed in this series. Anyways. So you guys know how I said it will take this entire course to properly dissect the bro code? Well, you guys aren't actually ready to learn what the bro code is yet. And much like math class, we need to refresh what you already know from elementary school. I know, but we can start the basics next lecture. Anyways, let's talk about friends and enemies. When you first meet someone, they start as a mutual. Mutuals are literally just IRL friends of friends. Moving right on the line, this person then becomes an acquaintance. Acquaintances are just people you nod to in the halls and talk to when putting group projects. But if you and your acquaintance hit it off, you guys move further and become casual friends. Casual friends are people you talk to in mutual environments or may even text or call from time to time, but you don't usually hang out a lot one-to-one. If you want to change that, however, consider moving further and becoming friends. Friends are people you talk to regularly, hang out with one-on-one, and go out of your way to do activities with. After a while, however, you guys can move even further and become close friends. Close friends are like your second family. You'd give them a key to your house, help them when money's tight, and trust that they would give you their kidney if they needed it. Personally, this is where I cap it. But for some, this isn't enough, and they delegate certain close friends as their best friends or besties. Best friends or besties are an elite group. You guys are like a pack, always together, always loyal. And finally, most commonly females will give one person the status of her BFF. The BFF is the end-all be-all, a platonic significant other if you want to think about it like that. And those 6 categories make up the right side of the line. But what is on the left side of the line? Well, to the left of mutuals, we once again have acquaintances. You guys nod at each other, but this time, something seems off about them. Let's not put too much thought into it, though. That is, however, until you guys move further left, becoming casual enemies. Casual enemies fight when exposed to each other, but don't go out of their way to, and usually don't spend time and energy cooking up wicked schemes on each other. The next step to the left would be simply enemies. Enemies are the classic playground rivalries that usually involve both parties making attempts to argue with the other, but the mutual hatred has boundaries. Those boundaries no longer exist, however, once we make it to worst enemies. Worst enemies not only hate each other and argue at every opportunity, but they also take on plans of revenge and retribution against each other. I think that's where the line universally stops, leaving us with 4 categories on the left. So this is the full love-hate line, as I like to call it. Hold on a minute, wait, 2 categories are missing here. First of all, frenemies. They generally tend to fall off the line over here, but still attached to both friends and enemies. These people hang out great one day and turn on each other the next. As we take this elementary chart into the upper grades, we begin to see a new component, significant others. Significant others are even more confusing because they sit off the line as well, but here's the kicker. Anybody from any category on this line can theoretically become someone's love interest. So now, this is the full love-hate line, as I like to call it. Now, why am I teaching you this? The reason is to show you that although the right side of the line are your friends and the left side of the line are your enemies, the bro code is a universal respect agreement between everyone and you on both sides of the line, at least the circled parts. Significant others usually have their own mutual respect agreements that they use in replacement of the bro code. But before we dive further into who is under the bro code, let's find out what the bro code actually is. Unfortunately though, class, you'll all have to wait until tomorrow for the next lecture. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all in the next episode of Liam's Random Introspectives.